Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to do a video on some Switch 2 accessories that you can 3D print. So I have 6 of them here in front of me. I'm going to rank these a little bit just so everybody has an idea of what maybe you should and shouldn't print. So far, all of these have been pretty good except this one, and we'll get into why that is here in a minute. But if you own a 3D printer, or even if you don't own a 3D printer, these are going to be some great options for you to kind of customize things, maybe eat a little bit of something you don't have, or maybe even a little bit cheaper than Nintendo's version of it. So first thing I'm going to start off with is obviously this Switch 2 handle. This is actually a really awesome modification you can do for your Switch 2. It holds it very well. It's very easy to print, very simple to print. You do need a 250 millimeter build plate if you're going to do it. Maybe a 220 would work if you could angle it properly, but I'm pretty sure this is a 240 mil hand grip. So you do need a little bit of a larger printer, which is basically a standard printer nowadays. And it doesn't quite work for somebody who has tiny hands like my wife. This thing is a little bit too wide, but if you have larger hands, this grip definitely does help. And I will leave links to these in the description if you want to print your own. Or if you don't have a 3D printer, you can message me. We can work something out, and I can sell you one of these and give, of course, attribution to the owner of the creator or the creator of the file. But before we go any farther, I just want to say thank you to my Patreon members, Caden, Hope, and Everdo Weiler. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. If you want to check out that, you can go down to the description, and it's in there. And then other than that, I also want to say don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you think of this video. Now, let's get into some other modifications. Hand grip is a very good one, very nice one, very simple print, uses very little filament. It's awesome. It holds this pretty well. Not going to come out, and it's pretty flexible. Really no issues there. I think this one was designed to leave a little bit of like felt or something in it if you didn't want it to scratch. And then we're going to move right on to the next one because my wife wants this thing back pretty bad, and I need to get it back to her as quick as possible. So obviously we're going to move right on to the next cool thing. We can go to the next thing here, set the Switch down. This right here is actually a mouse adapter, so you can just flip the Switch in there, and then you have a nice little mouse adapter to use with your Nintendo Switch. It does not require the mouse attachment that Nintendo provides with the Switch 2. You can use it without it. There is a left hand and a right hand one, and you can use either one of these in this. There's one for this version, and then there's one for that version right here, which is the left hand one. I didn't print that one just because I had other printers printing these other parts, but that's a really cool thing for anybody who does want to use mouse attachment. Very simple and easy to use, and then you can put some glide pads down on this as well if you have any to make this thing slide a little bit, but it does slide very nicely. It's very easy, very simple, and did not take a ton of filament. Again, links for these will be down in the description below. Let's move on to the next one. Next up, this is a fun one. I don't necessarily recommend this one, but it does work, and I'm going to put these in here. It says you need to use it with magnets, but as you can see, it's a pretty tight fit, and you don't need magnets. Just like that. It's very nice. It's definitely nicer if you have smaller hands and you don't want to use the bigger grip. It's not super comfortable, but it does work, and it's very much cheaper than buying a $25 grip. I think this cost me roughly like 30 cents to make. So very simple, very economic, and of course you can make it in just about any color you want. I actually put it on backwards. So now I just got to get these things out, and just like that, you push the button and it clicks them out. So very cool, very simple, very easy. I think, yeah, technically it'd go on like that to match flat with flat. But either way, very cool, very simple, very easy. I used to sell a lot of these for the Switch 1 because they were just simple, easy, fairly strong, you know, especially if you have kids. Kids like to break things. These are really cheap alternatives for something like that. Next up, we're going to go right into this adapter. So this is an adapter for obviously your Joy-Cons here, and it holds it like a controller. Nintendo sells these. This one has little bumper pads. I really like this one. It's pretty cool. Very simple, very comfortable. I really, really like this, and you can print it in just about any color you want, and it requires very little filament, and it's about a 3 or 4 hour print. I can't remember exactly, but it was very fast, very easy, and basically no supports required except for right there in the middle. So again, a very nice and simple print. Fits very snugly, very securely. These aren't coming out, but all you have to do is push from the back and they come right out. So very cool, very awesome print. Again, at the end of this, I will rank them in order from least useful or just nicest kind of to better. Next up right here is our Nintendo Switch 2. I didn't print the white words that can go in there, but this holds, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Holds 12 games, so not too bad, and a very simple print, very easy print. And it does a nice job holding your games. I was a little worried that they would be a little too loose and they'd fall out if you rocked it or something like that, but no. It holds Switch 2 and Switch 1 games, and it's very nice. I really like this, and we're probably going to end up leaving it out in the living room so we don't have to leave our games on the couch. But yeah, this is a really cool, simple thing that you can pick up. I know a lot of other companies sell them, but I mean, in terms of 3D printing, this cost me like, I think it was like maybe 80 cents to $1 to print. I think it was like right under 100 grams of filament. So maybe you could justify $2, I think, to print this thing, but realistically, it's not that bad. It's a really awesome print for what it does. Next up, and this is the last thing on my list, and there's a lot of cool ones of these. I printed something that was like very simple, very easy, didn't require, this only was 72 grams of filament, and it's just a Switch 2 dock cover. There are some pretty cool Mario ones out there that I'm planning to print for the Switch 2, but this was a really simple one just to kind of get the concept going, and it just sits right in. Doesn't block any of the ventilation holes or anything like that. You still have all your ventilation down here on the bottom. You have your ventilation on the back and the top. Doesn't block it. Just a little bit nicer than, say, a black front, especially if you have a room like we do, which is all white and light browns, dark browns. This is a really nice addition to kind of clean it up, make it look sleek. And then, of course, if you pop these back in, right here, you can get a nice little feel of what it would look like for you. Very beautiful, very sleek, very easy to do. And, of course, there are hundreds of these out there. Or there will be, and of course you can use any color you want it. So let's rank these now in order from like what I think is the best. For me, first is actually going to be the Switch cover. I really like this. I don't necessarily like having black consoles. In our house, it's like all white, so they stand out a lot, and I want things to blend in as much as possible. So I do like the idea of being able to cover up a large part of this and kind of keep it hidden. Especially if the Switch isn't being used, because my wife uses a handheld a lot, you get a lot of hidden stuff there, so people might not notice it right off the rip. But I do like this one. This is my favorite. My second favorite on here is actually this controller. I really like this for obvious reasons. I mean, it's just always great, and I never liked paying the amount of money that Nintendo wanted for this. You can also print the steering wheels as well. I just did this one because, I mean, when you do the steering wheel, it's like this big, and my hands are just too large for that. But this is also my second favorite. Third favorite is this mouse, for obvious reasons. I mean, it just feels really nice. It's not uncomfortable in any way, and it does just feel good. And they are marked for positive and negative, so it's pretty easy to do. And I mean, it just feels good, glides well. It's better than just scratching up the Joycon on the surface. You know what I mean? Fourth for me is this guy right here. Obviously, it's just simple organization, and it's very easy to do. Fifth is going to be this guy right here. This is nice, but it's just not the best, and I think if you were to take your Switch in and out of it a ton, it can be used while it's docked, so no issue there, but if you were to take the Switch in and out of a ton, I think it might get a little scratchy, so you have to upsize it just a tiny bit, put some felt on there so it doesn't happen. But other than that, it is a great addition. And then lastly is this thing. These are cool, but they're not like the best solution. I'd much rather do something like this, and I'm pretty sure people have made the bigger version of these to make it a little bit more sturdy. This just like isn't super comfortable if you have larger hands, so like my wife's smaller hands, this works really well. And just like that, I'm going to call this over. You can find links for this down in the description for all of it. Of course, you have to print them yourself. If you do want to use my printing services, then just send me a message on Etsy, which is linked down in the description as well, and I'll work with you. Any price I give you for any of these things, of course, I'll just charge time and materials, and then shipping is typically about $5, and I'll just include it all in the price. Really not there to make profit on this, more or less just to kind of get it in the hands of people who maybe don't want to pay $30 or $40 for a Switch grip when I can make it for like $4 or $5. You know what I mean? So thank you again for watching. Don't forget to check out the links in the description. And if you're going to print them, show me what you printed. You can follow me on Discord or X, which should be linked down in the description as well. Send me some pictures. And let me know what you guys thought about this. Is there anything else you want to see? Some cool Switch docs that I can print in the future? Let me know. And as always, thank you. Now get out there and print some shit.